Hi there, Becky here from 168 Fitness. This week I'm continuing with the holiday theme and talking about what foods to eat and which ones to avoid whilst on holiday if you're trying to maintain a bit more of a healthy regime and also not come back having put on lots of weight and undone all your hard work before you've gone. So you can do that. It is definitely doable. You've just got to keep active like we were talking about last week with the active recovery on holiday, and then also watching sort of the foods that you eat, but still being able to allow yourself a few treats and enjoy yourself as well, of course. So let's go through each meal, what things to eat and what to avoid. So breakfast, first of all, at a hotel, usually you're going to perhaps have some fresh fruit and yogurt there available. That's a healthy choice as well, getting lots of nutrients in with the fruit, and then some natural yogurt. Low-fat yogurt's good, but a little bit of full-fat yogurt's also fine as well, just for a little bit of extra protein. Then your cooked breakfast, things to sort of choose more of. Eggs, fried eggs are okay, they're not too bad, but if you can have poached eggs or scrambled eggs, even better. Some hotels will even do an omelette for you, so you might want to have sort of a ham or mushroom or vegetable omelette. That would be a good choice. High protein, going to keep you full for the rest of the morning. You might want to have some eggs and bacon, maybe even just a slice of toast, that's fine. If you're having cereal, if you prefer a cold breakfast, then things like oats or maybe some muesli if it's not high in sugar. A little bit of granola is fine as well. Usually cereals themselves not too high in calories, but you just got to watch that they're not the healthiest of options. They're usually quite high in sugar, so looking for things that are sort of more natural, like your oats and your porridge and things like that. So go with what you fancy on that day, but just aim not to have too much of it. You're thinking about portion sizes as well, or if you're going to have a bigger breakfast to try and keep you going till lunchtime, then that would work as well, combining sort of 2 meals in one go. But just think about getting some health nutrients in with the fruit, some water as well, maybe a coffee, and then sort of higher protein breakfast as well with the eggs, maybe some bacon. A sausage isn't going to hurt you. If you had a hash brown, obviously some baked beans, tomatoes, mushrooms, they're all good veggies. Count as portions towards your fruit and veg each day. So yeah, it's not actually too bad. You just don't want to be having too much of it, and yeah, just being sensible with portion sizes is the main advice there. Then if you're going to have lunch, maybe you're out and about, or maybe you're just by the poolside. If you're by the pool, then perhaps a salad would be good because you're not moving around too much. You're perhaps going to be hot, so you're not going to want anything too full, too large, and also nothing too hot either because you're going to already be quite warm in that sunshine, hopefully. So something like a chicken salad, salmon salad, something like that. Maybe some healthy grains, depends where you are, what country you're in, but looking at sort of things like rice or quinoa or couscous or anything like that. With some chicken or salmon, fresh fish rather, or some lean meat of some sort, but getting some goodness in the day, not too high in calories, and just helping you to feel good really for the daytime, especially if you've maybe got a cocktail in one hand. Try not to overdo it with the food as well as consuming the alcohol. Now, when it gets to dinner time, this might be where you're going out with the family and you're at a restaurant and you perhaps got lots of choice. And what I always try and do is have, if I am drinking alcohol, which obviously on holiday you want to relax and have a good time. So if you are drinking alcohol, then I would suggest having something like a fish dish with some vegetables and maybe some potatoes, or chicken, something lean, not too high calories, so thinking goodness as well. Try and avoid things like pizzas, chips, burgers, anything like that. You can just get anywhere in the world, anywhere, anytime at home as well. So just think about maybe trying to have some of the local specials, sort of nice, fresh, local food is always good, and then you're trying something else as well, something new hopefully, and then you're sort of counterbalancing the fact that you might not have done much exercise that day, much activity, and also if you're drinking alcohol, that's obviously calories as well. So you try not to overdo it with the food and with the alcohol. If obviously you're not drinking alcohol on holiday, or just that not on that night, then you might want to have maybe a pudding as well as the main meal, but still trying to have something healthy for the main meal, so that you getting that goodness into the body as well, helping to feel fuller as well, not going to be wanting to snack later on that night. But dessert wise, there's not anything particularly healthy about desserts, fresh fruit obviously being the healthiest choice, maybe a little bit of sorbet or ice cream, but it's really the combination of the fat and the sugar that makes it not an ideal choice. But as you're on holiday, if you are wanting to have a sweet at dinner time, then I would say something like a cheesecake is probably going to be a little bit lighter. Yeah, you kind of just want to go with what you fancy. If you're going to have a pudding, you might as well have something that you really want to have and make it worth those calories and that extra fat that you're putting into the system. It's not a bad thing. You've just got to think about perhaps getting up the next morning to burn it off by doing a walk or a run or a swim, just to try and help counterbalance that. And again, it's thinking about not having everything. So don't have a big main meal and then a pudding and some alcohol. It's like having one of the, make the choice to have one of those options. Or if you've had a big lunch, don't have a big dinner. Or if you've had a lighter lunch, you can perhaps have a little bit of a more substantial dinner. So hopefully those tips are going to help you whilst you're away. If you've got any questions, please do get in touch. One of the key things as well, we're talking about the other day, drinking lots of water. That's going to help with detoxing your system if you're drinking alcohol, perhaps more frequently than you would if you're at home. And yeah, just keeping you hydrated while you're in hotter climates, and hopefully you're having a good time as well. So when you get back, you'll be ready to feeling refreshed and ready to get going again with those summer goals. So I'll see you next week.